and welcome to the Immigration Answers Show. I am Jim Hacking. It is Memorial Day, the 30th day of May. Hope you all are doing well. Hope everyone's getting to relax. Today we honor all of the immigrants in the world who have served our U.S. Armed Forces. There are many, many immigrants who have served throughout our nation's history, and today would be a good day to stop deporting immigrants who served in our armed forces, the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Coast Guard, and of course, the United States Marine Corps. We've helped lots of immigrant soldiers get their immigration benefits. We enjoy working on those cases a lot. I'm really glad you all joined us here today. I wasn't really sure what kind of a turnout we would get. I also don't know what kind of reception I'm getting. My son's coming home tomorrow from college. We're going to try to juice up the internet while he's here because I think the internet might be a little choppy. Let me know if my picture is pixelated, and also let me know where you're watching from. I always like to hear where everybody's watching from. Let's take a look. We, of course, is down in Fort Myers as usual. Julie's watching or listening from New Jersey. Jason's wishing everybody a happy Memorial Day from Indiana. Get those grills going. Oh man, that reminds me, I was supposed to light the grill. I'm gonna smoke some beef ribs later on today. We got Patricia watching. We got Clayton in San Diego. That's where my son's coming from tomorrow. We got Nathan, of course. Hi, Nathan in Seattle. Good to see you. Yep, he's saying it's pixelized. Sorry about that, everybody. Maybe today will be a audio only show. Maybe we should just go audio only. But let's go ahead and get started. Everyone keep letting us know where you're watching from. Let us know what you're going to do today for fun. And let's get the show started with Cindy. Hi, Cindy.
Hello. Hello.
How are you?
I'm good.
What can I help you with?
I don't have a question myself. I've been so intrigued by your videos. I'm a volunteer and waiting to get approval as an accredited representative.
Nice.
And we offer legal clinics to immigrants in our community. And I'm really interested to see how you do this Q&A and what kind of questions you get and how you answer kind of point blank.
Okay, cool. Have you seen the show before?
No, I've just seen some of your videos.
Okay, cool. Yeah, well, do you have the ability to watch? Do you want to sit in the waiting room, or do you have the ability to watch wherever you are? Do you need to be in the waiting room, or you're okay? I can open up that spot.
Whatever works for you. I'll watch.
Okay, good. Have a great day. Thanks for coming on, and good luck with your accreditation. See ya. Look who's here. Look who's here. It's the one and only Ms. Fatuma.
Hi, I'm Sidi. How are you?
Hi, Fatuma. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How was your day? I hope everything is good.
Everything's
and you're
okay.
doing well.
The only cloud on our horizon right now is my daughter was playing softball yesterday and she broke her thumb. So that she's sort of bummed about that. She can't play sports for a while.
Oh, sorry. I'm very sorry about that. I'm good, thank you very much. I'm doing well. So today I just have to ask you two questions. One is concerning about me, and the other one is one of my friends.
Okay.
So let's start with the one of my friend.
Okay.
So my friend, he got married last year. I don't know if she is a U.S. citizen or a permanent residency, but he got he got a receipt from UCIS. It is a form I-797C, notice of action.
Uh-huh.
So here it says his priority date is December 21st, 2021. And I think is a spousal visa. And when I check his form I-79, it says family preference classification is 201B in a spouse of USC. And I'm kind of confused since when I go to the visa bulletin, each family has a preference classification, like mine, which is F2B, and I know about F2A is a minor children and a spouse. I don't know it is the spouse of U.S. citizen or a permanent resident. I'm kind of confused about that. And when I check the visa bulletin, F2A category is said current all over the country when I check the visa bulletin. So I don't know which category is under his? Is it a citizen or permanent residency? And here, if his form says it's 201B in a spouse of USC.
So there shouldn't be. I mean, it sounds like somebody made a mistake on the forms, because if they're married to a U.S. citizen, they're not in a preference category. They're an immediate relative. So it shouldn't even say that. It should just say spouse of U.S. citizen. So if the spouse is a U.S. citizen, it sounds like somebody made something wrong.
No, I'm not sure, by the way, if the spouse is a U.S. citizen or a permanent resident.
Well, you got to ask your friend that one.
But okay, what if his spouse is a permanent residency? Can he fall under the F2A category?
Should be, yeah.
And what if his spouse is U.S. citizen? Another different.
It sounds like there's some kind of mistake. Either they've got him mischaracterized as
and
the child.
And also, I track his receipt number through UCIS account, and it says his case is under review.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
When did they file?
I think last year. Here it's a priority. It says December 21st, 2021.
So they're still waiting. That's going to take a while.
So how much can he wait for, if you can estimate?
Is the person here in the United States or are they overseas?
No, he's overseas.
Yeah, so it's going to take a year for USCIS and then probably another year for the embassy.
Okay, my question is, if he found, I will ask him. By the way, I didn't ask him that one. So if his spouse is a permanent residency, can he file adjustment of status if his F2A is current?
The adjustment of status is for people who are in the United States, Fatuma. They don't need to do that. It's going to be an immigrant visa, just like your case.
Oh, okay. So, okay, thank you. That's all for my friend. Mine is, my police clearance certificate is expired. So, would that be a problem if I renew it earlier, since I am afraid that maybe later on it's going to be difficult for me? What should I do? Which time should I renew?
When they ask you to, I would wait for as long as possible to renew it. Don't go spend the money or the hassle now. Wait until later. They'll tell you when to do it.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. That was my question. I really appreciate it. Okay, bye. Have a good day, Mr. Jim.
You too. Okay, bye-bye. All right. The question is, are we going to do something special for our 200th answer show? Yeah. So this is the only show that we're going to do all week because I have a conference the rest of the week. But the 200th episode of the Immigration Answer Show will be next Monday. And we're going to do something special. And I'll remind everybody of it now, of what we're going to do. So we're going to do a little bit of a different show. We're not going to have people ask me questions. Instead, I'm going to ask everybody that comes on to give me a piece of advice for immigrants in the United States. And it can be whatever, you can say whatever you want to say. So we're going to try to keep it positive. But for our 200th Immigration Answer Show, we're going to try to say hi to all our friends, everybody who's sort of regulars on here. I hope you all come on and say hello. We're going to try to make a big deal out of it. We might even give out a few prizes. So those are the plans. That's next Monday, because this is the only show we're going to do this week because I'm pretty much tied up. Let's say hi to Ali. Hi, Ali.
Hi, Jim. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Happy Memorial Day. And then I'm sorry about your daughter, Thumbs.
Oh, she's very sad.
Yeah. I hope she's getting well.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sure. I was talking to you about back into January regarding my wife visa stuck at the embassy. So after the interview, they issued her administrative process. And then I just talked to you back in January, as I said, and then you just tell me just wait for a couple of months and then 4 months. So we are now almost in June. And a couple of weeks ago, I contacted the embassy about my passport for the passport for my wife just getting expired, and then I renew it and then send them the copy of it. And then I also ask them what happened with the administrative process, and then the same answer I get, we cannot predict how long it takes. It might be a couple months, maybe a year, we don't know. So I'm here by myself, taking care of my mom you know, uh, things are getting harder right now. So I've been married for almost like 6 years, and
Wow.
then
Wow.
yeah,
So what when did USCIS approve the I-130?
it was back in 2020.
Do you know when in 2020?
I'm not sure. I think Daniel has the all information. I just talked to Daniel. It was last year.
Which embassy is it?
Ankara, Turkey.
So Anchor's been moving some cases. I mean, you've been administrative processing for a really long time. If you wanted to sue them, now's the time. We'd be willing to do it. So if you're ready to go, we can do it.
Okay. So they issued her administrative process in 2000 this year, like the last year on December. Yeah.
Yeah, but do you think? I mean, do you have any idea why they're holding her case? Is there anything that you're worried about?
No, all the document was like sent in, and then I just gave them whatever they asked me for, the whole document. Even the consul, he just asked her like just 5 questions. What's your husband's name and where he is live, what he works, and that's it.
Yeah. And is she from Turkey or is she from Iraq?
She's Iraqi too.
Yeah. So they probably feel like they can't do a background check, so they're just going to sit on it until you sue them, probably.
Okay. So what do you think, Jim?
I'm ready to go.
Okay. So talk to the Daniel about it.
Just email Daniel. You can send Daniel an email right now and say, "Hey, Jim and I were just talking on the show." And
I have his phone number. I can text him.
well, yeah, you can, but the office is closed today because it's Memorial Day, so maybe tomorrow.
Okay.
Thanks, Ali. See you, buddy.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Tim. Thank you.
Bye, bud. All right, that was Ali. Let's look at this comment here from HD Senberg. Hacking Immigration Law Team, just want to say thank you so much for your videos with so much great advice. It helped me a lot during the second interview, which they sent the notice to the wrong address. I had to discharge from the hospital early too, LOL, since I had baby. And they didn't believe my doctor's notes. Interview one day after birth. I made sure to ask for RFE at the end of the second interview. They're just asking for one item now, which I overnight Federal Express. I'm sure they'll sit on it for as long as possible. Hopefully not. I mean, if you're having babies, that sort of and you're showing up, it shows you're dedicated, and I hope everything works out. Hopefully they won't keep screwing around with you. Here's one more nice comment we got from Marika. Hey, Jim, you and the team are doing an excellent job caring so much. Your patience with callers so humane. I do hope your daughter's finger well gets well soon. Boy, everyone, that's great. I'll tell Nora, she'll be happy. All right, let's say hi to Raybert. Hi, Raybert.
Hello, Jim. Good morning.
How are you?
Good. I'm a big fan of your show and yours truly. Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Yeah. I have a question because I got married last year, 2021.
Okay.
So on March. So when I got back here, I filed my I-130 for my wife.
Okay.
So when I got, so I filed it like around June 6th, I think. And then I received a notice like, around June last year. And then this year, my petition got approved. So what I did is like, when I filed my wife's petition, I used a paralegal to arrange my papers for my wife. The thing is, she forgot to fill up the form correctly. So she left the question blank on question number 62, I think. It's asking if the beneficiary is getting a U.S. immigrant visa on the embassy in other country or adjustment of status. So she left it blank. So this year I got the petition, right? So it got approved, but they're asking that question, if my wife is getting a visa from other country or adjustment of status. So My question is, do I need to file a I-824?
Probably. I mean, they sent you the approval notice, and then they sent you a question about what you want to do with your I-130.
Yeah, but they send me a approval notice now.
Right. They sent you the I-130 approval, but why do you know, or how do you know that they are aware that you left that question blank?
By letter. I got a letter.
So a separate letter from the approval notice, or included in the.
The letter is asking me if he says here that you didn't indicate that the petition whether the beneficiary is intended to apply for an immigrant visa abroad or adjustment of status in the United States.
Yeah, so good. So I would respond to that, and I would include the I-130 approval notice. I would include that letter, and I would tell them. I assume, Raybert, that she's overseas. Is that why you want to do an A24, because she's overseas?
Yeah, but I'm a little worried because the I-824 is a little consistent, right, Jim?
A little consistent? What do you mean a little consistent?
I mean, it's inconsistent, so it's not. I mean, it takes too long to get an approval.
I mean, so let's analyze a couple of things. Number one, for everybody's education, Raybert, are you happy that you used a notario to help you with your forms?
Yeah, I did, but
right. Do you now wish that you had not? Do you now wish that you had either done it yourself or hired a lawyer? I mean, the reason the notario left it blank is because they don't know the difference. That's why they left it blank, because they're morons.
Oh, I got it. Yeah.
They probably don't know the difference between an immigrant visa, and they probably don't know how to fill it out. So I would skip the 824 for now. It looks to me like they're trying to do you a favor by sending you that request. They were confused, so I would just send them a letter. I mean, one, you probably want to have a lawyer take over the case from now on. That's just an aside. But if you're not going to do that, I would send them a letter to the address they sent you that from, include the I-130 approval notice, include that letter where they ask you that question, and then tell them that you want her to consular process and to please send your case to the National Visa Center.
Oh, okay. So actually, I did that, Jim. I wrote a letter and then send a copy of my green card and then the approval notice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so now you just got to wait. I'd give it a couple months, and then if that doesn't work, then I would start bothering them or file that other form.
So I need like a month or 2 months.
I'd give them 90 days. Yeah, I mean, see that, and that's the thing. That stupid notario is costing you time. That's the biggest problem, and headache.
Yeah, so that's why I'm applying for a citizen too. I have a lawyer. Good. So she's doing my papers for my N400.
That's great. Good luck, Raybert.
Yeah, thank you for the answers.
See you, buddy.
Have a nice day.
You too, my friend. All right, that was Raybert. Old Raybert's wishing that he hadn't used that notario. Notarios are no good. Accredited reps, like our friend Cindy, are great because they're properly trained and they're not trying to get your money. What we're talking about notarios are people who put up ads that say tax forms or immigration forms. Like all it is that we do is fill out forms. And of course, here that paralegal / notario didn't even fill out the form correctly. So use a lawyer or go to an organization that does this on a pro bono basis and has accredited reps. We've worked here in St. Louis with many accredited reps. So make sure that the people who are handling your paperwork know what they're doing. And also make sure that you review the forms before your notario sends it in so that you make sure that every question is answered. There are a lot of really smart immigrants out there who could do a 10 times better job than their stupid notarios. Let's say hi to Mohammed. What do you say, Mohammed?
Hi, Jim. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm well. This is going to be a simple question. I'm in the United States on an F1 visa, and I'm planning to apply for an on-campus job that is hopefully going to start at the end of August.
Okay.
So one of my questions is, will I need an I-765?
No, you'll just do that through the school with your I-20. You don't need to do a 760. You don't need to work hard in order to work on campus.
Okay, so I don't need I will
Just-
not have to file I will not have to file a 765.
Nope. Just talk to your international student office. Make sure that you can only work 20 hours a week on campus. So make sure that they know what you're doing and make sure everything's fine, but you don't have to file for an employment authorization document just to work on campus.
All righty. Thank you very much, Jim. Have a lovely one.
Bye, Mohammed. Good luck, my friend. All right, that was Mohammed getting it done on college campus. Gonna make that money, make that cheddar. Good stuff. Let's say hi to John. Hi, John. John, can you hear us? I'm digging that shirt. I think those headsets aren't working, my friend. We'll come back to you. Let's say hi to Oba. Hi, Oba.
Hi.
What's up?
How you doing, sir? Good afternoon.
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. Happy holiday.
Same to you, my friend. What's going on?
Yeah, I have a question. I have a removal proceeding pending case.
Okay.
Then I have a approved VAWA I-360.
Okay.
So the reason why I got in removal was because I got in a argument with a friend, and he called the cops and he lied that I tried to stab him. So I was charged with aggravated assault.
Okay, wait, hold on, Oba. Let's start at the beginning. Where are you from?
I'm from Nigeria.
And when did you come to the United States?
2016.
And what kind of a visa did you had a visit visa when you came in 2016?
B1, B2.
And when you went to the embassy in Nigeria to get your B1, B2, you were married?
Yes.
And did you get divorced before you came to the United States or after?
I did get divorced before I came to the United States.
You did before?
Yeah.
Okay, so then you come to the United States and you get 6 months. And then when did you get married? How long after you arrived did you get married?
6 months.
So before you were you still in status when you filed for the green card or no?
Before the 6 months?
Yeah, before the 6 months, did you get married and file for the I-130 or no?
I filed after 8 months.
Okay, so when you filed, you were out of status, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So then how long did you stay married to that person?
2 years.
And did you have an interview on that I-130?
Yes, I do.
And did they separate you at that interview?
Yes.
Which field office?
Dallas.
And then after that, did you file for divorce or did your spouse?
Yes, I did file divorce and apply for VAWA.
Right. And then how did your interview go? What did you guys have a lawyer?
Yes, we do.
And did the lawyer say whether your answers matched a lot, or did they say there were a lot of mistakes, or what did they say?
Yeah, it matched a lot.
Okay. So why or what happened after the interview? Why didn't it get approved right then or shortly thereafter?
I can't really say, but the case, it wasn't denied.
It was just it just got pending, and then you filed for divorce because she was abusive?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, so here's the thing. Oh, a couple things. One is, have you seen my show before? Have you seen this show?
Yes.
Did you notice how I knew all the right questions to ask about your history? Did you notice how I sort of already knew your case before you even told me? Did you notice that?
Oh.
When you and I were talking, I sort of knew everything about your case before you even told me. Like I knew you were from Nigeria. I knew that you got a visit visa. I knew that you got divorced. I knew that you had an I-130 interview that didn't go great, that the I-130 didn't get approved, and that you then got divorced and filed for VAWA. The reason I know that is because I've heard that story 800 times. There must be somebody in Nigeria teaching that story over and over and over. So if I've heard it 800 times, that means USCIS has heard it 800,000 times. And so they are, you have all the fraud indicators. You went to the embassy and said, I'm married. And then you left the embassy and shortly thereafter got divorced and came to the United States. And then you got married when you're out of status. Those two things, getting a visit visa while married and getting divorced, and overstaying a visa and getting married to a U.S. citizen, those are all the kinds of things that make them call the fraud unit. So I think your VAWA case is going to be pretty hard to win, and I don't think they want to give you.
I already got it VAWA approved.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. But and maybe I'm wrong. Hopefully you'll get your green card. What's the overall question then that you have for me?
Okay, the question is, I have a pending removal proceeding.
And how did that come about? Why the removal came about after the denial of the I-130, or how did you end up in removal?
Thank you. That was what I was explaining to you. I got in an argument. I got in an argument with a friend, and he called the cops and lied that I tried to stab him.
Yeah.
So I was taken to the custody. Then the grand jury dismissed the case after they discovered that I didn't do nothing to him. That he's just lying.
Okay, so so when you got put into removal proceedings, you would have received a notice to appear, and it would say your name is Oba. You are not a U.S. citizen. You are a citizen of Nigeria. You entered the United States on this day. What else does it say? Why do they think you should be deported if everything's still pending?
Yeah, it was pending. Then after I got my VAWA approved, I tried to file a motion to dismiss.
To terminate, yeah.
Yeah, but the DHS did not agree to join the motion.
When was that? Was that before Biden or after Biden?
That's after during Biden.
During Biden, okay.
Yeah.
I wonder why. Why did they oppose it? What did they say?
They didn't say nothing. They just said they can't join the motion at this moment.
And so is it sitting in front of the judge?
Yeah, it's sitting in front of the judge, and the next court date is 2025.
Yeah. Yeah. And I assume you had an attorney file that for you?
Yes, I did.
What did your lawyer talk to the DHS attorney? Why do they not agree on it? Usually right now the Biden people are just giving out terminations like candy. There must be something about your file they don't like.
Yeah, they didn't say anything, so I'm trying to see what else I can do.
Nothing. You just gotta wait. Which immigration court are you in Dallas or Houston?
Yeah, Dallas.
Dallas. Is your lawyer good at deportation stuff? Do they do a lot of deportation?
I don't know if he's not doing it right. That's why I'm trying to.
Yeah. I would press him and say, listen, we need to go back to that DHS attorney and figure out why they're opposing it or why they won't join in. That, like I said, I mean, maybe it's all the stuff. Maybe it's the fact that you were married when you got your visit visa, the fact that you were out of status when you got married. I wonder, here's a question for you. What if USCIS came or ICE came and knocked on your U.S. citizen spouse's door? I'm assuming she would say bad things about you, right?
No.
Yes, she would. You're accusing her of violence. You're telling me she'd say, "Oh yeah, Oba's the best." Come on, man. That's not even believable. Do you think that is it possible that she's written a letter to USCIS saying Oba just married me to get his green card? He's a bad guy. He tried to stab his friend. He only married me because he was out of status, and you guys should deport his ass. That sounds more like what she would say. You don't think she would say that?
No, I don't think so.
Well, did you file a police report on her for the violence?
Yes.
And you think despite that, she's got good things to say about old Oba? I don't think so. I think they probably already talked to her. Your lawyer should nail that shit down. Your lawyer needs to talk to her and try to get her on board. I think you're in trouble, Oba. That's what I think.
Uh-huh.
All right, but I'm gonna let you go. Okay.
Uh,
Bye, Oba. Hi, Neiman. How you doing?
How you doing, sir?
Niman Demand. What's up, Niman
Neiman.
Demand?
I have a question. I came to your office 2014, I remember.
You came to my
So my
office?
case, yeah, my case was denied for not having enough evidence to prove the marriage.
Did I file this case or someone else
No,
filed it?
no. I just went to your office for a consultant.
Okay, so let's back up. When did you come to the United States,
2012,
and where are you from?
Jordan,
And what kind of visa did you have when you came?
student.
Student. Okay, and so where did you go to school right away?
No, it didn't work. I tried, but it didn't work.
Okay, so that's one fraud indicator right there. They don't like it
Yes,
when
yeah.
they don't like it when people say, "I'm coming to the United States. I got money for school. I'm going to go to school," and then they don't really do that. Okay, so
Well,
what
I
happened?
did. It's kind of complicated, but it didn't work. Anyway, I got divorced 2015.
You got deported?
Divorced.
Divorced. Okay, 2015.
I got married again to 2020. My wife is pregnant. I hired a lawyer and I
Just real
filed.
quick. Sorry to interrupt you. I missed the first marriage. So you come on the student visa, you
Mhm.
file an I-130 without a lawyer with your spouse, and it gets denied for not enough evidence, right?
Yes, yes.
And I assume that's the St. Louis field office denied it.
Excuse me?
It was the St. Louis field office that denied it, or was it some other field office that denied your I-130?
I don't get it.
Yeah. Where
They
did you have
just
on your first I-130? Where did you have your interview?
in Missouri.
Yeah, in St. Louis, where I am.
Mhm.
Okay, so then that marriage ends and you get divorced, and now you've married a second American person, right?
Mhm.
And you have a kid with that person?
2 months. It's June 2 months.
Doing 2 months. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And this person is a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
And have they filed an I-130 petition for you?
I hired a lawyer. We filed. I got the work permit. Then, what my lawyer said when they saw my case, my file, they said, "We're gonna send your paper to deportation because you didn't inform us that you changed your address from Missouri to Texas." And they gave me a date, should be last April, after 1 year. Then they moved it to 2024. So the only reason I'm in deportation because I didn't report changing my address.
Well, and you were out of status for a long time.
That's weird, or just that's a questionable. And I asked my lawyer, is this the only reason I'm deported for? She said they can say whatever they want.
But once your first I-130 got denied, you had no legal status to be here because you weren't going to school, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why you got sent to deportation, not about your address.
What she said, I never had a deportation case before I filed for I-130.
Well, that could be. I mean, I could see that. I mean, this is very unusual. They don't do this very often. But so here we have here you are. You enter the United States on a student visa. You don't go to school. You marry a U.S. citizen. That case gets denied, and then you don't leave. You just hang out. And then the next time you raise your hand and say, "Hey, you guys, you forgot about me. Guess what? I married this new U.S. citizen, and I got a whole new case." And they're like, "That bastard Neiman, he never left. What the hell? We're going to send him a notice to appear." And then they put you in deportation. It's a dirty trick, but it's possible. You've been out of status for 5 or 6 years, so putting you in deportation is certainly within the possibility of what they could do. It's very, very rare. There must be something about your case they don't like. I've only seen that a couple times, because really, if you think about it, it doesn't make much sense. If you have this new real marriage, why start you in deportation if you have this marriage? Now, see, here's the thing though. my friend, is that one of their big tricks right now is they'll say to you, Neiman, dude, we believe your new marriage. You got this kid coming. We think this U.S. citizen you have now is real. We believe this marriage. But you know what? That first marriage you had, that was a BS marriage. And we went out and talked to that wife, and she said that you paid her to get her a green card. And so even though you've got this great new real marriage, we're going to deny you because of the old marriage. That's what I'm worried about.
So there is nothing I can do, just wait?
Well, I wouldn't say there's nothing you can do. It sounds like your case is a big old mess, and somebody, I mean, even if you're, okay, so is there an I-130 petition on file based on the woman that you're married to now that's about to have the baby?
Is there what? Excuse me, it's just breaking up.
That's okay. So the immigration court piece, that's just about your green card. But the I-130 petition is for USCIS. Is the woman that you're married to now, has she filed an I-130 petition for you?
Yes.
Okay, and what's the status of that I-130 petition?
It's on hold or pending.
No, it's not on hold. It's not on hold. That doesn't go on hold because
it could be denied. Could be denied based on the deportation.
No. There's the deportation has nothing to do with the I-130. I think your lawyer doesn't know what in the hell they're doing. If you don't know the answers, these are really basic questions. You should know the answers to this left and right. It sounds like no one's really paying attention to your case.
Okay, so should the I-130 move in the process?
Yes, it should. I do it all the time. So what you do is you have someone in removal. You file an I-130 petition. You get that approved, and then you go back and say, "Hey, can I get Neiman his green card at USCIS? You guys don't want to make this case wait until 2025. So let's stop this deportation now that he has the approved I-130." That's the golden ticket. The I-130 is how you get out of deportation court. So the fact that you don't know the status of your I-130, that makes me worried.
Okay, should I look for another lawyer or something?
I would think so. Yeah, I think so.
Okay, will your office accept my case?
I might. I want to see it all. I want to know what wife number one says, and I want to talk to you off camera about that first marriage. But yeah, we'd be open to it.
The first one or second one?
First one, dude. The first one's the whole shooting match. The $1 million question with whether Neiman gets to stay in the United States is what happens when they come talk to wife number one, not wife number two. They know things that they're going to believe you, or they don't even need to worry about wife number two because they already got you on wife number one. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So marriage number one is the whole shooting match here.
Okay. Should I send your office an email or something?
Yeah, send it here. I'll put the contact information in the. Just tell those guys that you're on the show with me today on Monday at around 1:30, and they'll look it up and just put in your details. Send us the whole story in the email, and then they'll follow up tomorrow. We're closed today.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Bye, Neiman. See you, buddy.
Bye.
All right, I'm gonna go back to Cindy here in a minute just to see what are you thinking about all this?
No, it's great. I really love seeing you work and the process of the questions you ask and how you keep bringing it back to what's important. So I'm feeling like I get to sit at the feet of a master here. And
well, I mean, that was why I started the show, is because I wanted people to be able to see sort of what it's like to work with us. I wanted them to understand the process. And the reason I pulled you back up, Cindy, is because I want you, when you get to be accredited, the whole thing, always, you got to go back to the beginning. You got to go back to the beginning because they skip over stuff, right? Then they sort of gloss over it and they tell you weird things like, well, I'm not sure what happened to that I-130, or, oh, things just didn't work out at school. Well, those are really important details that are important to them because you promised and swore things under oath back in the day, and now those things are coming back to get you. So you always got to go back and get a really good chronology. That's what I tell the new lawyers all the time.
Yeah. No, you've got a great style. And I think every lawyer I've observed or worked with has a different style, but I'm learning a lot from your very direct, compassionate, but clear, and very informed approach. So this is great. I hope I can come back another time and sit in.
Yeah, that'd be great. And there's 200 old episodes you can watch whenever you want. Thanks, Cindy.
How do we get the old episodes?
Oh, if you subscribe to the YouTube channel, they're all on there. Just click on the live and there's tons of them.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Wasn't that nice? Always trying to get someone who cares about immigrants up on their feet so that there's plenty of work to be done. Leandro.
Hi, Jim. How are you?
I'm good, buddy. How you doing?
I'm good. Greetings from Hartford, Connecticut.
Oh, Hartford. One of my best buddies lives in Hartford.
That's good. It's pretty hot here today.
If you need a personal injury lawyer, his name is Ryan McKean, Connecticut Trial Lawyers. They're good guys. So anyway, what can I help you with?
Yeah, I have a question. So I'm originally from Brazil. I came to America in 2020 on a B2 visa, and I overstayed my visa, and I married to a U.S. citizen. I married on 2021. My question is, I had my interview on May 12th, and my I-130 was approved on the same day, but still currently pending. I also got some evidence to give to the officer, but I haven't heard anything about any answer, what's going on, what's the next step. My question is, because I overstay my visa, do I need to apply for a waiver because I overstayed that period?
No, you don't need a waiver. When you say that the officer asked you for evidence, what evidence did they ask for?
Actually, he didn't ask for the evidence. I just bought some evidence to attach in my file. It was like a bank statement 6 months ago, health insurance, car insurance, and the leasing contract from the apartment. I didn't mail it to them. I just bought it on the interview day, and he said that he needs sometimes to scan and add into my file. Then I might hear some answer in between 4 weeks or 8 weeks, but already has been like 3 weeks, almost 3 weeks, and I haven't heard any information.
Is there anything about your admissibility? I mean, other than your overstay doesn't matter because you're married to a U.S. citizen. Is there anything else that worried you, or that when you were filling out your 485 where you said, oh, this one I'm saying yes to? Like, was there stuff that concerned you, or you think, like, what do you think he or she, the officer, are hung up on?
I think because my partner, he had a previous marriage, but I was married also in Germany, but I also got all the certificate that I was divorced. Everything was done perfect and translated to German to English. I don't know why he's holding up, because I didn't have any problem at all.
What did the officer, so, there's always that moment at the end when they're telling you, all right, everything looks good, or I'll let you know. Like, what were his exact words? He said 4 to 8 weeks or 4 to 6 weeks, or what did he say?
He told the interview was very straightforward, but was separate, was not with my partner. I went first. I went certain 40 minutes in the room, and after my partner, he went there. Around 15 minutes, was very fast. And after, he just got the approval for the I-130. But in my opinion, I guess because I bought a lot of paper, like evidence, I think this evidence, they might have to look at to make sure it's legitimate. And they might...
Sorry to interrupt you, Leandro. How long of an overstay were you?
I overstay. I entered in the United States on July 26 to 20. I overstay almost 2 years.
Okay, so whenever there's an overstay, then the next question that the officers sometimes get hung up on, and they might call you in for another interview on this, and I want you to be careful with how you answer it, remembering that we're on camera. I just want you to think about the question more than anything, and that is, when someone's in the United States, I'd say for more than 6 or 12 months, one thing that they always worry about or think about is working without authorization. And when they start to think, about working without authorization, then the question is, did they tell someone that they were a U.S. citizen? And that's the real
And
problem.
he asked me if I worked on out of status, and I told him that I did work. And he also asked the previous marriage, the reason that it didn't work out, and I answered accordingly, perfect. But for me, the main reason was why they're. But I also received my employment authorization. Why is taking so long? I think maybe because of the documents they need to.
No, I think it's the work. I think it's the working. Did he ask you for the list of the places that you worked?
It was an application I mentioned, and he asked if I worked there. I say yes, I did.
So that's probably what they're doing. They could be. I wouldn't say probably, but sometimes they do go back to those employers and say, hey, we want to see Leandro's paperwork. Did he mark a box that he was a U.S. citizen so that you hired him?
Oh.
And false claims to citizenship is a deportable offense. So to me, that would be the only reason why they'd be sitting on your case. I don't think it's that they're looking at your documents. I think it's that they're trying to figure out if you told someone that you were a U.S. citizen, or gave them a fake social security number, or gave them a fake green card so that you could. So that's okay. Don't answer it on camera, but just, yeah. So if you're not worried about that, then that's good. And then it might just be, I thought before when we were first talking that you had said you'd overstayed by 2 months, but if it's 2 years, that's long enough for them to be interested in poking around as to whether or not you made false claims. And if you didn't, that's fine, but that's probably why it takes its time to work itself out.
And he also mentioned the reason why I request the visa. At the time, I was living in Germany, and I told that the first marriage I was coming for honeymoon. But I changed my mind, and we went to Amsterdam. And he was asking me, "Oh, do you know exactly when you went to Amsterdam?" And those questions. And I answered him. And
wait, so Leandro, we keep uncovering more stuff. So tell me about that. When you got your visit visa, you were married. Is that what you said?
Yeah, I was married to a German citizen. I was living in Germany at the time. The reason I applied for the visa is to spend a honeymoon in America in 2017. So, and then I didn't came for honeymoon. The plan changed.
And then you came by yourself.
And then after I came a couple of times by myself here alone.
Well, so then they're tracking down records from the State Department to figure out what you said when you filled out your DS-160 and got your visit visa, and they're tracking down your employment records to see how you supported yourself while you're here. So I can see why they're sitting on your case.
I understand.
And somebody just said in the comments they think they're skeptical about your marriage. I don't think that's it, because they proved the I-130. I think this is all about whether or not you do need a waiver, not for working without permission or being here as an overstay, but if you made any kind of misrepresentations, either to get your visit visa or to work.
Yeah, my worry was like, because I married on tourist visa, and might be a misrepresentation that this might be a problem to approve.
Okay, so I didn't follow my own advice to Sydney, the accredited rep to be that I just said, which is I'm supposed to start at the beginning, and I didn't do that. So that brings up that question. How long after you entered did you get married?
I entered was around 11 months.
11 months.
My visa expired on January 21st, 21, and I married on June 21.
Okay. And the person that you married, you said you had made several trips to the United States beforehand. Did you know them before you entered on this trip?
No, I met him in America.
Right, but you said you'd made several trips to America, right?
Oh yeah, I made several trips in America, but I didn't know that person at the time. So I came for vacation. I was working for an airline.
All right, well, let us know, Leandro, what happens. I'd be interested to hear. Hopefully everything goes well, and eventually you'll get your green card in a couple weeks.
Yeah, thank you, Jim. And
see you, buddy.
Greetings. Thanks so much.
Yep, have a good day. Well, we are issue spotting left and right. There's always something to unravel, always something to talk about, always something to think through. Leandro had lots of good questions, so I'm glad we had him on the show. Let's say hi to Sega. Hi, Sega.
Hey, Jim. How's it going? Can you
Great.
hear
How
me?
are you doing?
Good. Thanks for having me. I was hoping to pick your brain on so I have a employment-based green card, and I was wondering when you think it's safe to exit and find a new job, because people say 6 months, less than 6 months, more. I just don't know what is true. How do I approach it? How what to document, what to gather? What are your thoughts?
I think that this is one of the biggest topics discussed on the internet between immigrants that probably doesn't mean all that much. I think that, obviously this is when does this come up? This comes up when you apply for citizenship. So I think that as long as you can credibly explain, like if you have a good reason as to why you left, and I think right now it's a great reason, which is, dude, the market was hot as hell. I got to double my salary, or I got $40,000 more.
Right.
And so that was why I left. I think everyone's going to say, good for you, Sega. Good job. Be glad you don't work here at immigration like us. Like that's a good thing. So I think that as long as you have a good reason, whatever it is, if it's like, I wanted to go live in Denver. I mean, it's not like marriage. It's not like they, and I should do a video on this. This would be a great video, but they don't view people who leave their jobs nearly the same as people who leave their wives or their husbands.
Gotcha.
So in answer to your question, I'm comfortable with a month as long as you have a good explanation.
I gotcha. Is there a reason that would affect me negatively? Like, is there like a way I could exit? I don't know, maybe getting fired or something, disagreement.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, here's my approach. Here's my mindset. If I were you and I'm going into my citizenship interview and I've left my job after 2 weeks, either because I got fired, because I punched my boss in the face, because I got a new raise, any of those reasons, I'm walking in like a king to my citizenship interview, because as far as I'm concerned, it's none of their business. They really, it's really absolutely irrelevant as to whether or not you get your citizenship. The only way would be if you committed some kind of fraud to get your green card. Other than that, I think they can pound sand and you don't need to worry about it.
Gotcha. I'll keep that in mind. I appreciate it.
Good luck, my friend. And I like your keyboard. I like your keyboard. I had a mechanical keyboard for a while. I haven't used it in a while, but I miss it.
I appreciate it.
See you, buddy.
It helps. All right. Have a good one.
Later.
All right. Bye.
All right, boy, we're busy today. I'll let Sega go. There he goes. And let's see if John got his audio working. John, are you back? I like that t-shirt, but I can't hear old John. I can't hear John. All right, we'll try John again in a little bit. Let's say hi to Farhan. Hi, Farhan.
Hi, Jim. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Yeah. So I have a question. Actually, my brother is applying for an F1 student visa. He has his interview in a week. So I am married to a US citizen. We are living in India right now. So my wife, she's been in India for the past 3 years. Okay. So the question is that in the DS 160 for my brother who is applying for an F1 visa, there's a question that do you have any relatives, immediate relatives in the US? So I'm not there, so nobody's there, so the answer is no. But the next question is, do you have any other relatives in the US? So my brother's sister-in-law, who's my wife, is a US citizen, but she's in India for the past 3 years. So what should we mention in that?
Does it say in America or residing in America, or what does it say?
The question is, do you have any relative in USA?
Yeah, I think the answer to that is no.
Right, because I don't want it to like be some kind of a misrepresentation or,
No, I would just answer. I mean, you can only answer yes or no. And yes would be just as confusing as no, right? Because yes, She's not there. She's in India. She's been there for 3 years, right?
Yeah.
So I think that saying no is the right answer. Just be ready if they ask that out loud, if they ask the exact same question face to face, I would say no. I do have a sister-in-law who's a U.S. citizen, but she's been living in India for the last 3 years.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, he should always tell the truth in front of the visa officer.
That's all he needs.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I have an immigrant petition filed for me, I-130. So like, will the officers know beforehand that like she's my wife and like some sort of connection between? No, right?
Is it approved at USCIS?
No, it's still under process.
Yeah, no, they're not going to know about that.
Okay. Thank you, Jim.
Bye, Farhan. Have a good rest of the day, my friend. That was Farhan. Very nice fellow. Let's say hi to Amin. Amin, what's up? Oh, Amin's out.
Hi, Jim. How you doing?
There he is. Hi, Amin. How you doing?
I'm doing good. So just a couple of questions, I guess. I am originally, I was actually born in Iran, but I'm a citizen of New Zealand since I was 17 years old.
Okay.
And I actually lived in the U.S. for 12 years. My father is a U.S. citizen. And I was there because he had a job, so we moved there. And I was on F1 visas. I did my undergraduate and a couple of advanced degrees, actually. And I finished my last degree, and I moved back to New Zealand because I wanted to move back. I didn't even apply for OPT or anything like that. But I'm now thinking, just have a couple of questions, I guess. Am I correct in thinking that because I'm an I-130 applicant or under my father's citizenship, I will not qualify for a non-immigrant visa again, correct?
You could, how long has the I-130 been pending?
Application date was February 2020.
And so all that time you've been outside the United States, you yourself?
Yes, actually, it's so interesting because I was 1 year away from finishing, half a semester away from finishing my undergraduate studies when I became eligible for putting my name down. But I remember the lawyer at my school, this is really interesting, actually said, don't put your name down because you're so close to graduating, and if you find a job, they will have a hard time giving you H-1B because they will see you as an immigrant intent. Now, I'm not sure if that was correct.
Absolutely incorrect, because an H-1B is a dual intent visa. That was really, really dumb advice.
Yeah, and at the time, I had no plans. My plans were, okay, I either find a job or come back. So life happened, and I just went for had I known, I would have put my name down. But anyway, this is where we are. But the thing is, so I qualify for ESTA, and I actually have an ESTA for the next 2 years. But do you anticipate that I have any problems entering since I've now shown immigrant intent? Will there be a problem going in and just visiting my dad?
We have to operate on a couple of things. And, my wife is from Egypt, and I became Muslim 25 years ago. And I always say that, immigration for people from Muslim countries is always different, and for Iran especially. So even though you are a New Zealander, in the eyes of immigration and the State Department, you're always going to be an Iranian, right? So I say that not that it's fair, just that it's sort of a fact. So I think you're asking the right question. I think generally you shouldn't have a problem coming on ESTA. You followed all the rules when you came on your student visa. Yes, you have an immigrant visa on file for yourself, but if you can show round trip tickets and if you have a job back home and family, that means if you're just coming to see your dad for 2 weeks, I don't think it'll be a problem. You had started to say that you were disqualified from getting a visit visa to the United States. I don't even think that's true. It's not that you're necessarily disqualified. It's just that you might not be able to get one. But if you have ESTA, I would just try to come on that. As long as you're always honest and open with everybody who asks, including CBP, when you come through customs, that if they ask, does anybody have an immigrant visa petition on file for you? You got to say yes.
Okay, so I've never overstayed my visa or done anything illegal, so that's good. So even eligible for something like a E2 visa, you think, for my to maybe set up a small business or something?
Is Iran a country that's qualified for E2? I don't have the list.
Well, New Zealand is.
Oh, New Zealand, right? Yeah. I mean, how far? Oh, so 2020. So you've got like 5 years or so, or 6 years for your dad's petition. I don't know, how long is it? 8 or 9 years?
I mean, do these things are these things case by case? Is it possible that like when most people are waiting 6-7 years, that this could be like you got lucky and yours gets processed in 4 years or something?
Not at all. That's absolutely impossible, actually, because you're just waiting for a place in line. So, your priority date is 2020. They're probably working on applications. I haven't looked from 2013 or something, 2014. So you've got a while to go. But yeah, if you got an E2, you keep doing that. And then now the E2 might be harder to get. And you got to ask yourself, well, if I file for an E2 and it gets denied, do they then say, why in the hell does Amin have ESTA? Let's revoke that too.
Yeah.
If I were you, I'd be happy with the ESTA and just use that.
And just one last question. So
sure.
I have just been one. I've never been married or anything like that. And just as a question, because I heard about this elsewhere. Let's say in the future or something like that, I meet someone and they're a U.S. citizen or whatever. I want to marry them or something. Yeah. Will I have trouble with that because they will think, hey, something, this guy already applied for has an I-130 or something. We're going to reject it even if it's legit?
That's a great question. No, I don't think so. I don't think that would be a problem.
Okay. All right.
I mean, and here's how I'll tell you to make you feel even better. I think it's 50-50 whether they even figure out the two, at least early on. Maybe it comes up at the embassy later, but no, I don't think they're going to have any problem with that.
So they won't think that this person has lived here for so long, has roots here and whatever, and it's odd that they will get married to an American or something.
If you're married to a U.S. citizen, that part really doesn't matter.
Okay. All right, man. Thank you so much for answering my questions.
You got to have a great day, buddy. All right, everybody. That'll do it for today's show. Sorry about the bad internet. Try to get that fixed over the next week, and I try not to do the shows here from home, but it is Memorial Day. I will be live next Monday, and we will be doing our 200th episode, and we'll be asking you for advice or tips or hacks for people coming to America or who recently arrived. If you want to stay on top of when we're going live, you can text the word SHOW, SHOW, to 314-470-3300. We'll see you next time. Have a great last bit of your weekend. Thanks a lot.